You mind if I fill you in later?
I'm coming.
Hello again to my YouTube friends and subscribers. And welcome back to Jay's World Order. Today, we are heading over to the Scottsdale Plaza Resort and Villas for the Scottsdale Comic Book Convention, aka the Old Man Con. You saying I'm old?
You saying I'm freaking old?
Yeah, you must be talking to me. Well, that was an antique.
All right, well, let's get my old ass over to the Scottsdale Plaza Resort and Villas and let's go check out some comic books.
My name's John Scarpone.
Hey, John.
How you doing? I've actually started buying original artwork a long time ago in '75.
Mm-hmm.
So at that time, Jack Kirby pages were going for like $100.
Wow.
Yeah, which is amazingly cheap. But I was a kid then, and I found out I saw an ad for collect full. What am I trying to say? The full comic book, like 1 through 13 pages.
Right.
And when you worked out the cost of that, it was like $50 a page.
Right.
So I started buying complete stories. So his name is Gabriel Dell'Otto. So this is the original cover to Siege #1. So it's like a variant cover for that issue starring Thor.
Right.
Yeah. So I like Gabriel Dell'Otto. His stuff is kind of pricey. This is like
That Thor almost looks like an amalgamation of Bill in a way.
Beta Bill.
Beta Bill, yeah. A little bit of Beta Ray Bill in the teeth, but not that is Thor.
Yeah. He's definitely fierce.
Fierce. Yeah, that's an understatement, my friend. This is an original Jack Kirby Sandman.
$12,000, so that's probably the most expensive artwork I have left.
So this is a $12,000 piece.
Yeah, that's a splash page from Sandman. And here's another Gabriel Dell'Otto.
Wow, that is
that says what that is. Yeah.
This original Batman.
Yeah, these are all Don Newton. This is also Batman.
Wow.
This is a cool image of a Man-Bat. And
Man-Bat.
he and Neil Adams did this thing where when they're drawing, it just suddenly like made the page come alive with how it's no longer restricted to the panels.
Right.
Or Don Newton, this is from the DC Comics Presents. It happens to be 2 pages from the same issue, number 54, but they're not consecutive. You never see Green Arrow. You never see Green Arrow. And it's weird because guys come through and that's one of the pages they look at. How much for this? How much for that?
Because Green Arrow is kind of the little bit weaker Batman.
He is. This is also by Don Newton. That's actually the painted cover to one of the Phantoms that he was doing. I forget what year. I had that price at $12,000.
Right.
My spider sense tells me this cake isn't for eating. It's for throwing!
Today.
I'm Scott. My company, for lack of a better name, Hagen the Comic Book Hunter.
Hagen the Comic Book Hunter. I love it. And you were just telling me this is not only your first show, but this is your personal collection that you're selling.
Out of my personal collection, I've been collecting since I was a little kid. I decided to come and do a show, and I'm having a great time. This is all stuff I had extras of. I had a second copy, so I just priced out my second copies and brought them here. So I don't have anything slabbed. Everything I have is raw.
Okay.
So, you can pull off, and if you think that I've graded it improperly, we can have that discussion. But, I tried to look at the grade of the comic book when I priced them out. So there's $4 comic books all spread out throughout here. Yeah. But I also have some expensive stuff as well.
Giant size X-Men.
The priciest one I brought.
And what's the price on this one today?
I'm asking $1,500.
$1,500. That is a great price.
He's here.
Apocalypse.
The
Ooh, yeah.
And this is the second most expensive one I brought today, and I'm asking $1,000 for this one.
Ooh.
And I might have bought this off of the rack when I was a kid. This might have been one. I bought one off the rack. Phone number and email address, Hagen, the comic book hunter.
Hagen, the comic book hunter.
Email address, joecthulhu@aol.com.
Right on.
Kevin, Collector's Choice Comics. How you doing?
How you doing, Kevin? From Collector's Choice Comics and Justice Comics as well.
Yeah.
So are you guys partners?
Two shops in
hashtag,
under one roof. Hashtag 2 shops, 1 location.
2 shops, 1 location. I dig it.
Yes.
Well, as long as you guys are getting along just fine and no one's going to laser beam each other, I think we should be in good hands.
It's a yin and yang. So basically on our side, so we handle all new books. We've been with CBCS now for 10 years, our 10th year. Actually celebrating 10 years with them in about 3 weeks. We are 4th in the company in submissions. And we're basically bringing that convention experience into the shop with our signings. We partnered with Justice Comics 3 years ago, and they handle all the older comics.
Okay.
And so basically we have a lot of that yin-yang in the shop. We want to bring a lot of older artists in as well. We've had Randy Emerlin in the shop. We've had Joe Rubenstein. And we're lining up for a lot more signings in 2025.
Awesome.
So yeah, we're here at Old Man Con today, and Albert is just a fountain of knowledge on all the books here and a lot of the Silver Age stuff.
I got Daredevil #1. I've got Hulk #1. I've got Fantastic Four #1. I've got Fantastic Four #2, Hulk #2, first appearance of Moon Knight. These are gems that everybody's looking for, and they are in our shop. First Blade, first Ghost Rider, the coming of Galactus. I mean, this is just stuff you don't see every single day. So just to come in and just like check it out, can I hold it? It's not real till you can hold it. But yeah, and then we've got the Ninja Turtle stuff, man, and that's pretty much why we're all here today. We got Kevin Eastman in the place signing today. I've known Kevin for a while. I've had the fortune to sit with him and draw for the Hero Initiative. We're raising money for old school artists that don't get paid like we do now. But we've had great conversations over the years. I still remember when I came across Turtles at Toys R Us, getting the toys, and that was my introduction. But The Last Ronin was the best story ever.
That's why I have this.
Yes,
today.
yes.
To get signed, man. Yeah,
Is that a turtle in your pocket, or you just happy to see me?
Both.
Wow, nice. Yeah, man, this has been great this whole time. I urge everybody. Heroes in a Half Shell. There's a documentary. Don't believe the Netflix toys that made us. Go watch the documentary. But yeah, guys, thanks so much. Come by the shop. We're on Elliott McClintock. If you're here locally in Tempe, Arizona, 2 shops under one roof. The guys that run the shop, which is myself, there's another guy named Chin. We both do stuff from Marvel, Upper Deck, and Image. There's another guy that actually works with us named Chris Klauser. He does toy design for McFarlane. So you have a shop that's run by artists in the industry. So come by, say hi, hang out with us, chit chat. Yeah, man, it's going to be a blast.
Question about The Last Ronin. Okay, because if I had a chance to talk to Kevin Eastman today, I'll ask him the same question.
Yeah.
Do you think Kevin Eastman was in an emotional, dark place writing that story? Because it's a heartburner. It breaks your heart, at least in the first couple issues.
Well, I know it was the last story that him and Peter Laird wrote together.
Right.
And if you know the Turtles themselves, right, the history of the Turtles, like everybody was speculating on who the last Turtle was. And I don't want to do spoiler alerts, but if you know the history, who ends up being the last Turtle, it makes sense. So I think that it was just a nice closing of a book.
Did it make sense because he was the weakest?
No, it made sense because he was the first.
Oh, I never really put that to thought.
Yeah.
Actually.
Yeah.
No, that makes sense.
So that's why I say it's basically the closing of a book. You started with this, and you're ending with this. Now, is that the actual true story of how it happened, or did it just happen that way? I don't know, but that's how I interpreted it, especially, again, seeing that documentary and knowing the history of the Turtles.
Right.
It's just like, this makes complete sense. And then just to find out that it was accurate, and I'm like, yes. So, yeah.
Awesome.
What was your thoughts on it on the last run? Do you think he was in a dark place?
You know what I mean? So when I'm reading that, my heart is just reaching out to the last character. Because everybody dies.
Yeah.
And since I'm someone who read that after I lost someone to cancer, I was grieving while I was reading that comic book.
Yeah.
So I guess I was interconnecting my personal grieving with Michelangelo's grieving.
Sure.
And
so we are spoiling this.
Yeah, I guess. Why not? People read it.
Okay.
So I'm intertwining my own personal experience, thinking maybe Kevin Eastman was in the same place as I was in. And that was where my thought pattern was coming from.
I know.
Ashcan Colombian Batman preview books. From also Colombia, you have Iron Man, El Hombre de Hierro. I hope I pronounced that properly. This is Spider-Man from Greece. And how about Aliens from Hungary? And the aliens were hungry, and this was made in Hungary. And here you got Hungarian Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Everything's bigger in England. Here is a copy of Super Spider-Man and the Titans. This is the largest copy I've ever seen of Spider-Man versus the Kingpin in my life.
Because you're a complete bastard.
Tony with Fantastic Worlds Comics.
Nice to meet you, Tony.
The Amazing Fantasy 15.
Ooh.
There's going to be a Amazing Spider-Man 1. We got a Fantastic Four 1. A Showcase 4, which is the first Silver Age Flash. And it's signed by the 3 of the creators, which is super rare to find since they're all passed away at this point. Superman. That's pretty old. Superman 5.
Superman 5, wow.
Action Comics, I'm not sure. We have some adventures up there that are pretty old.
Oh, yeah. What year are we looking at those
early.
adventure comics?
39 and 40. I mean, anything Golden Age DC, Timely, even Fawcett's, which is Captain Marvel.
Sure. Right on.
They're always in demand. But there's just not enough of them out there.
But when it comes to like Spider-Man, Secret Wars, stuff like that.
Well, we're talking Spider-Man's not until Silver Age.
Right. But I mean, as you pointed over to Black Suit Spider-Man, yeah.
That's a huge seller.
Right.
That's those. We can't get enough of them.
But they're not exactly rare comic books either,
no,
though.
but it's popularity.
Right.
Character. Everyone wants Venom.
Right.
I mean, we can't get enough of them.
Venom.
We'll get them in. They'll go, and then we'll get more.
Right.
And they'll go, and it's.
And do these fads ever subside, or it remains?
Nope.
Through the generations.
Same thing with Hulk 181, first Wolverine.
Yep.
It's another one. It's the same type of thing.
Right. Very true.
Just keeps on going.
Yes, it does. We didn't know Superman was going to die. We had an inkling that they were planning on something big. And then when it did happen, when they released the Death of Superman, I mean, there was a line out wrapped around the door to get that comic book. But I remember reading this one, and I was just sort of like in shock watching Superman getting his ass kicked.
I am Austin Aert.
Austin, nice to meet you, man. I'm looking at your original artwork. I love your take on Rick and Morty and Wolverine, Galactus. Where do you get these awesome ideas, man? These awesome creations.
Stealing ideas from other people that inspire me. Yes. No, I don't know. I try to add like a psychedelic punk rock flair to everything, kind of like a hot rod art style, Rat Fink. From that to I have several art influences. You know,
you have a lot of music influence. I can tell.
Yeah, music too. Absolutely, yes.
So, what is the music influences that are going at this? Is it punk rock? Is it metal?
Punk rock. I'm a huge fan of like '90s grunge.
Me too.
Yeah. So yeah. I love one of my favorite bands, the Butthole Surfers. They definitely. I kind of have a little feel of that, I think, in my stuff.
I'm looking at this. You know what it reminds me of?
What?
Liquid Television.
Oh, totally. Yes. Totally, yes. The Max and the Head.
Eon Flux.
Yes.
Old Eon Flux when it first started. Oh, that was some of my favorites right there.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, what a great take on the Turtles. Now, this is pretty freaking metal, man.
Thank you, man. That's the real Ninja Turtles. They're the mutants. They eat pizza all day and they live in the sewer, so of course their teeth are going to be gnarly and they're going to smell bad.
Hey, you don't have to tell me, man. I'm from New Jersey. I know what they were like back there.
On Instagram, I'm Austin Aert Art.
Okay.
And also Odd Vomit Comics is my self-publishing label. And then...
and what are we looking at here, Austin?
There's a bunch of sketch covers. Down at the bottom row of the thing is my self-published book, and then a couple books I did for a publisher. And then this is the first ever Tremors comic book, which I'm part of. It's an anthology with a bunch of different artists. And first ever Tremors, like, it's a fan book, so it's not an official publication, but it is the first actual comic book for the Tremors series. So.
Very cool. Hey, Max, how you doing?
Good.
What do you got going on? Is this some of your original stuff that we got rocking?
That is correct, yes. We got Black Falcon, which is about a dark vigilante of the night. Each issue is its own little story. So here, we learn a therapist session, his relationship with his arch nemesis. Here, we got a homage to old Silver Age comics.
Yeah.
Here, we learn that Black Falcon's not a person, it's an identity or a mantle. And here, we got another book called Goddess, which is about the adventures of Hawthorne Segment as superheroes. So here, they're fighting Nazis. Here, they're fighting the Mummy of Cleopatra.
Oh, wow.
Here, they're teaming up with some public domain heroes to fight a villain with a time machine. And here, they're standing up against McCarthyism.
Oh, that is great.
Because I did a lot of research on Egyptian history and mythology for this, especially for these first two issues. Like, it took a while I was like, okay, were the Nazis ever in Egypt? Because if they were, I got a start point. And it took some time, and I did find a date. And I want to know when It's like, okay, was Cleopatra's tomb ever found? No. Okay, fine. Then it hasn't been found, apparently. So that works for me. So we get to say it was found in 1942. I had no idea how to write a Silver Age comic.
Okay.
And I found out that what DC used to do is somebody would pitch a cover and then they'd write a story based around that. And I'm like, okay, I don't have an editor, so I just asked some friends, hey, anybody have an idea for a story? So we pitched something. It's like, okay, so let's just write, see if we can make something out of it. And was able to do that and make a third issue. So I call that experiment a success.
Very cool.
You can find me on Instagram at MaxH24 on Instagram.
Okay. And this is Action Comic number 33. looks so much like Action Comics #1. It's almost like they're trying to fake you out a little bit just to buy 33, thinking it's Action Comics #1. Where's Nicolas Cage? He'll let me know.
I know. Mr. Superman, he knows he's here.
Yeah, okay.
All right, I am standing here in line to meet Kevin Eastman, but I just saw this gentleman come by with a nice collection of Wolverine comics that you just bought for your son, right? And I just have to see, because you haven't read these comic books yet, is that right, my friend? Yeah. That's right. So what did you get for your boy over here, man? And you got a great price on all these as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, this guy gave me a bundle deal. Got all these for $150, so I got Wolverine 27.
Nice.
Got Wolverine 17.
That's a great one, man.
Got Wolverine #2.
Oh, what's the price you got on that one? $60. They took 20% off.
It was a bundle deal, so altogether this would have been $190 individually.
Wow.
I got all these for $150, so he knocked about $40 off.
That is awesome. Ooh.
And I got Wolverine 1. It's a wall book he had on his wall. So
wow.
So I got a really good deal on some books that.
Hell of a deal, man. Well, congratulations, my friend.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Come on, they're gonna kill him. Good.
What? Man, I waited in line for 75 minutes to meet Kevin Eastman for him to sign my original Leonardo figure. That's why I went to the Scottsdale Comic Book Con and Old Man Con today. 75 minutes of my life wasted because I never got to meet him because he had to leave early. Let me tell you something to you fanboys out there. When you're going to meet your heroes, your comic book heroes, your celebrities, whatever, don't bring a whole wad of things to sign, okay? Because there's other people waiting in freaking line. Bring 1 or 2 items. You take up 35 minutes of time for your signatures, that's wasting everybody else's damn time. So to say I'm disappointed, that's an understatement. It was a fun Comic Con. I saw some real cool stuff today, but all I wanted to do was meet Kevin Eastman. Well, my friends, thanks again for visiting Jay's World Order, and I will be with you again in the very near future. Peace and love.